The road without applause, strength. That needs no recognition. I have walked the road without applause. For years, my feet have pressed into dust and stone, yet no one has seen the path I tread. The city sleeps, the streets are silent, and I am alone. And yet, I do not mind. For I have learned a truth that many forget. The worth of a man is not measured by recognition, but by the discipline he holds when none watch. I remember the first time I understood this. I was a young soldier then, eager for the praise of my commanders, the admiration of my companions. I fought battles with the hope of applause ringing in my ears, only to find that recognition is as fleeting as smoke. Some cheered, some whispered, and some, whom I respected most, did not notice me at all. And yet, it mattered not. For my strength, I realized, must come from within. The sun rises and sets regardless of my deeds. The stars appear in the night sky whether or not I lift my eyes to see them. And so, I have learned to lift my own gaze, not in search of honor, but in search of truth. Each step I take is guided by purpose, each breath a reminder that I am the master of my own spirit. I have endured pain without complaint, for the world does not offer comfort to those who walk this path. My body has been tested, my mind pressed like wax beneath the flame. And still, I rise each morning, knowing that resilience is not built in applause, but in quiet perseverance. I have watched men crumble before the weight of expectation, their courage dependent on the approval of others. I have seen warriors falter when no one stood to cheer them on, their hearts heavy with vanity. And I have walked in silence, knowing that the applause of the crowd is not my reward. My reward is the strength I cultivate in solitude. In the quiet of the night, when the city slumbers, I reflect upon the lessons the Stoics have left behind. Epictetus whispered across time, "It is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." I take these words into my heart. I have been wounded by betrayal, by neglect, by the cruelty of those who see only themselves. And yet, my mind remains unshaken. My heart remains steadfast, for I know that external events have no dominion over the soul that walks in discipline. I have seen the faces of men twisted by fear and desire. I have witnessed the chaos that overtakes those who place their happiness in the hands of fortune. And I have chosen a different way. I seek no fortune, no fame, no fleeting pleasures that vanish like smoke. I seek the calm of the mind, the integrity of the spirit, and the unwavering loyalty to my own principles. Each day, I rise before the sun. I walk alone along the cliffs and through the forests, feeling the earth beneath my feet. The wind bites my skin, the cold presses into my bones, yet I remain steady. I do not complain, I do not demand, I endure, for endurance is the crucible in which character is forged. I have learned to carry burdens invisible to the world. My failures, my doubts, my moments of weakness, I embrace them, not to shame myself, but to understand the human condition. Every misstep is a teacher, every scar a testament to survival. I have no need to display these lessons to others. They are mine alone, and in their quiet possession, I find power. I have observed men seeking validation in empty gestures, their strength dependent upon eyes that may never see them. And I have chosen differently. I seek validation not from others, but from the clarity of my own conscience. When I act according to my principles, I am free. When I resist the temptation to boast, I am unbound. When I endure silently, I am whole. There is a peace in solitude that the world cannot offer. There is clarity in silence that applause cannot give. I have felt the pull of anger, the weight of jealousy, the sting of betrayal. And yet, I have learned to let them pass like clouds across the sky, leaving the sun of reason shining in my heart. I have walked through storms that sought to topple my spirit. I have faced enemies who wielded words as weapons, and circumstances that threatened to drown me. And in each trial, I discovered the truth. The world can only touch the body, it cannot touch the mind that has mastered itself. I have loved and lost, yet my heart did not break. I have been ignored and belittled, yet my spirit remained unshaken. I have known hunger, fear, and exhaustion, yet I have risen each day to greet the dawn. For happiness is not found in fortune, but in the mastery of oneself. I have seen empires rise and fall, kings crowned and deposed, and men vanish like dust in the wind. And still, I walk my path. My victories are quiet, my achievements unnoticed. Yet they are real, for they belong to me, and me alone. I have learned the art of restraint. When insulted, I do not strike with words or fists. When betrayed, I do not rage. When desire tempts, I do not yield. Discipline is not punishment, it is freedom. Freedom from the whims of fortune, the tempests of passion, and the chains of vanity. I have faced death as one faces an old friend, with acceptance, not fear. Life is fleeting, and yet the soul is eternal. To live with virtue is to transcend the need for recognition, to rise above the shallow praise of men, to find immortality not in monuments, but in quiet integrity. I have walked the road without applause, and in it, I have discovered the song of the soul. It is a melody composed not of cheers, but of silence. Not of gold, but of understanding. Not of power, but of peace. I have known the serenity that comes when desire fades and fear is mastered. I have known the clarity that comes when attachment dissolves. I have known the joy that comes when a man acts not for reward, but for the good of the soul. I have learned that life's worth is measured not in moments of recognition, but in the quiet strength with which we endure. Each dawn is a chance to practice virtue, each hardship an opportunity to fortify character, each breath a reminder of the fleeting yet precious gift of existence. I have walked among men and observed their struggles, the endless pursuit of applause, the endless chase of desire, the endless grief of envy. And I have chosen another path, the path of silence, reflection, and self-mastery. I have known the weight of unseen burdens, and I carry them willingly. For they teach me patience. They teach me humility. They teach me resilience. They teach me that the true measure of a man is not how he is seen, but how he endures when unseen. I have embraced solitude as a teacher. I have embraced difficulty as a companion. I have embraced life without expectation, and in doing so, I have discovered the deepest freedom. For freedom is not in applause, it is in mastery of the self. I have walked the road without applause, and I am not lonely. I am accompanied by reason, guided by virtue, and strengthened by silence. My journey is mine alone, yet it is eternal. For the road that requires no recognition is the road that leads to the soul. And as I stand upon the cliffs at sunset, feeling the wind against my face, the world stretches wide before me, indifferent, chaotic, fleeting. Yet I am calm, I am steady, I am at peace, for I have learned the art of enduring silently, the discipline that frees a man, the quiet strength that needs no witness. I have walked the road without applause, and I would walk it again. Not for honor, not for glory, not for recognition, but for the only reward that matters, the unwavering mastery of the mind, the freedom of the spirit, and the quiet light of inner peace. The road is long, the world is silent, and I am enough.